All right. What is up, everybody? I just got back done from working out. So I'm nice, chill, and relaxed. So I wanted to go ahead and get right into it, basically. I wanted to tell the story of how I got into cosplay / how I kind of got into content creation as well. This is a story that I've told a lot of, my people who have met me and close friends and stuff like that. So this would be the first time that I'm just kind of putting it out there like that. So this is cool. I wanted to wait till I felt like I had enough experience under my belt. Excuse me. I could say I've got a little experience now. I guess I could say I've been cosplaying in the cosplay community at least for about 3 or 4 years now, since 2021, 2022. I think about 2022, probably 2021, 2022. So what is that? That's 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Oh no, it's 6 years. 6 years? Has it been 6 years? Man. So I've been in there for 6 years now. Still a baby in it, but we're always growing. So, but how I got into cosplay, it's funny because everybody talks about LARPing and stuff nowadays. It's funny, you would almost I could almost be considered a LARPer, low key. No, I'm kidding. But how I ended up getting into it, actually, it was from the fact that I was initially an actor. I used to have an acting career. We won't go all the way back into that, but you can look me up on IMDb and stuff. But I essentially used to be in the acting industry. That was what I was chasing, what I was pursuing. I did a couple commercials, couple TV shows, and the vid hit, and everybody went into lockdown. And it started, the acting industry went into lockdown, and people were trying to find things to do. And as you know, social media blew up at the time. And where you going? Stop. Cat over there acting crazy. But social media blew up at the time. TikTok, blew up. That kind of really became one of the main things. Instagram, everything, social media just kind of blew up at the top. And since I couldn't, essentially get any acting gigs or anything because the industry was shut down, I was I wanted a way to express myself. I wanted to be able to still do acting things. I still wanted to be able to release my creative energy. And so I kind of took to online more, got on TikTok. I really didn't want to at first. At the time, I had somebody in my ear really trying to it's gonna be the next big thing. It's gonna be the next big thing. Wish I would have hopped on it earlier. I eventually did hop on it. But yeah, I eventually hopped on TikTok, hopped on Instagram and everything. And when I first hopped onto it, I wasn't doing cosplay stuff. Cosplay didn't come till way later. This, when I really got into doing content stuff, it was around 2020, 2021. I don't think I actually started taking cosplay content serious till about 2022. That's when I actually started going okay, this is what we're gonna do 2022, 2023. So at first I started out with, if you know me, then I started out with dance content first. It was a lot of dancing and a lot of skits, which I still do dancing and I still do skits, but now it's cosplay related and lots of cosplay stuff. And so that's all it was for a little bit. It was dance stuff and just, different skits that I was throwing towards the wall. and I built a pretty decent following off of it. Was posting on Instagram mostly, so I really blew up on Instagram. And TikTok at the time was kind of building, but not so much at the time. And so I was doing that, and I was like, for the longest, I've been a huge anime fan since I was younger. And I was like, yo, like, I wonder if, you know, if I could try like mixing like some anime skits in there and stuff like that. See if like there's a community for it. Because I honestly, at the time, didn't really know. I didn't have a community, to tell you the truth. This is all raw and unedited, y'all. So, because I just want to be real with y'all. I want y'all to follow my story, be real with you. I want us to all be real with each other, bro. But I didn't know of the, you know, cosplay community. I didn't know there was a thing for, like, you know, cosplaying, you know, like I didn't know anything about anybody else really loving anime like that. I would find a couple of my friends like also liked it with me, but I didn't really know anybody that, you know, rock with it heavy like me. Like I didn't know it was a thing until 2022. I had met this dude. I was looking for acting gigs, and one of my things that I wanted to do for like the longest was I wanted to be in something that was anime based. I wanted to be in like some kind of like anime type of like TV show or movie or a live action. I wanted to do something like a music video, like anything that was like anime related, like voice acting, whatever. And I ended up running across a dude who had a project that he said, you know, was an anime based project, and he was looking for actors to do work for it. I was like, yo, like this is what I've been looking for. Shout out my boy Greshman. Miss him. But Greshman was the one who got me into the space and, you know, told me about cosplay and the conventions and stuff like that. It all started through him. And he also gave me my first cosplay that I had ever had. What ended up happening is, obviously, as acting goes and, like, you know, shoots and stuff go, that he didn't tell the specific name of what we were working on. Just for the longest, it was, you know, anime best project, till we actually started getting down to, you know, like nailing the set down and everything and what we were going to be doing. And then he ended up telling us it was going to be a music video based on Cowboy Bebop. And bro, when I tell you, I was like, yo, like this is crazy. And so he was like, hey, so I'm gonna be cosplaying Spike. I'm gonna have his outfit, and I'm gonna give everybody else their cosplays as well. And so he was saying this, and everybody's like, okay, cool. And so I'm sitting here, and I'm like, okay, so what's a cosplay? Like, I genuinely never heard of that in my life. I was like, what's a cosplay, bro? And he was like, so the cosplay is the outfit. Like, that's the character you're going to be cosplaying. You're going to be Vicious. And so I was like, okay, so I'm like, y'all say this like it's a normal thing. And he was like, yeah, like, hey, you never heard of the cosplay community and stuff like that? I'm like, no. What? I was like, this is so new to me. And I'm like there's a community of people that dress up as characters, their favorite characters, like out, as everybody says, like, that sounds like a Halloween thing. I'm like, so y'all do this like outside of Halloween? He's like, yeah. I'm like, that's so freaking cool, bro. But yeah, no, he told me about this, and so like I'm just genuinely like fascinated. I'm like, yo, like how long has this been going? Like is like what do people cosplay? Like all that good stuff. And he's like, like, it's crazy you've never heard of it being, such a big anime fan and stuff. He was like, we'll talk about it. Let's get the shoot done. And so, we get our shoot done, we get into our cosplays and stuff. And, it's a long shoot day and everything, but we end up getting what we needed. Had a great time. I have lots of videos from that. That was such a great day, and I made some great friends from that day. But we get done, and like Greshman ends up saying like, yeah, like I really loved your dancing and everything, bro. He was like, how would you like to go to the conventions with me and do live performances? So I'm like, the conventions? He was like, yeah, bro. He was like there's tons of cosplay conventions, especially in the Georgia area. That's where we were recording at the time. I was like, no way. And he was like, yeah, and there's stuff in the South Carolina area as well. And I was like, there's stuff like where, around my area, bro. That's insane. And so he was like, yeah, so he got invited to BonsaiCon, which is in Columbia, South Carolina. And so he said, yeah, I'd really, like to see, like, we'll get you paid for the event and everything, but I'd really love to have you come out to the event with me. I'm like, yeah, bro, like, I love that. And so BonsaiCon holds a special place in my heart because, again, that was the first convention that I had ever been to in my life. And when I tell you I was as happy as a kid in a candy store, bro, like, I went there the first time working, but like, man, like, it was so cool. And like, I was just, and I'm still this way to this day. Like, I'm still act this way, but like, I was like, I'm just, he's like, hey, like, so we need to pass out the flyers and stuff, tell people about the show and all that stuff. And I'm doing that, but I'm doing that actually, because I love talking to people. But I'm sitting here and I'm just going to everybody, and I love your cosplay, like, I love your cosplay, like, I want a picture, like, everybody just looks so cool, and I'm just like, man, I can't wait. Like, I'm just like, I'm in my head, I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, I can't wait to get done with this performance. Like, the stress of like having to, get this performance done and us doing a good job. So then like I can relax and just like chill and enjoy running around and experiencing this for the first time. And so I will say, while this was my first official con, I will say I was invited to a con way back, and we didn't get to really experience. Turns out I was actually invited to Dragon Con, one of the biggest cons ever, by a family friend. And I I didn't know it was a cosplay at the time. I just looked up like outfits, like character outfits, and I'd never do this now. Like, I always make sure like that I have knowledge of it, but I was like, I really want to watch JJK. And so I got like a partial Yuji cosplay, and so I just got like his outfit, and I put like a Naruto like baseball cap on, and I had like a random like sword from Sword Art Online, and I went in there and I'm like, yo, like, I'm not knowing what to expect. We went into the vendors hall, bro. It was just the vendors hall, and we thought that was the whole con, bro. Like, now I know that's not the case, but like, we went in there, and like, I was like, whoa, and I got pictures with like, Batman cosplayers with Robin, like, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is crazy, bro. And people are sitting there, and they're like, nice Yuji outfit, and they're like, yeah, can we take a picture? And I'm sitting there, I'm in like the Yuji outfit and the baseball cap, and people are like talking to me about the show and stuff at the time. And again, I would never do this ever, like, now, but like the first time I was just like, I'm just gonna put this outfit on just to like, for the simple sake that we're going to this place where a bunch of anime fans are gonna be, bro. Like, I went like that day after we finished the con, or at least going for the vendors hall. I watched JJK immediately, bro, because I was like, oh, like, they be asking about, like, But, so, that was actually my first experience, technically. But this was my first full experience. And by this time, I had my Vicious cosplay. I had that. That was my full cosplay, and I, performed, danced, and that everything. But we're getting ready. We're doing all the stuff for the event, and we get to the performance, do the performance and everything. And as I've been talking around, I've been making friends. And I made two good friends that became the first people that I ever went to cons with. And they very quickly got me introduced to everything. So my first year of doing cons, including Bonsai Con, I went to 6 cons that first year, which is way more than most people usually go to. My first year I did 6, and I have not looked back ever since. Shout out to Athena and Colby. Those are and will be forever, my favorite con people, my first con people that I ever met and that I got to experience cons with, and just teach me, about cosplay and conventions at the beginning. After I talked to them before the performance, got them and a couple other people to show up. And after we wrapped up the performance and we could all chill and everything, he was looking over footage and everything. And so he was sitting there editing, and he could tell that I was just antsy to get up and just explore. And so he was like, go ahead. He was like, I can do this part. He was like, I'm releasing you. And so he released me, and that whole rest of the weekend, I was just everywhere. I hung with Athena and Colby. They had set me up to go to my next few cons and everything, and from there it was history. But yeah, it's so funny to me that I really got into cosplay by accident. If it wasn't for the fact that I had got that casting call for that shoot, I don't know, I probably would have eventually found it, but I don't know when, honestly. And it's crazy to think that it took me as long as it did to ever even hear about cosplay. As big into anime and stuff as I've always been. I've been into anime since I could basically talk. So it's really insane to me that off of that I just ended up getting into the space. And then it was funny, from just that performance and everything, people they were oh, I love your cosplay and everything, and they were oh yeah, do you do content and stuff, and they're let me get your socials. And at that time, again, I had nothing cosplay related and everything, and they're oh yeah, how long you been doing this, you've got gigs and stuff. I'm bro, I don't even have pictures of I don't have anything cosplay related. This is the only thing that I and so I kind of got dropped into this space, which has made my experience so interesting as I've been going through it from the people who kind of grew up in the space, I guess you could say. And I guess I would really just like to continue just telling y'all about my experiences now that I can say that I've had experience in the cosplay community and just as a content creator in general, as a cosplay content creator, y'all. But that's my story. I wanted to be real and raw with y'all. No edits. Maybe I might cut up some stuff that I feel I was a little repetitive on. But yeah, that's my story. Let me know y'all stories, how y'all got into cosplay. I love asking people how they got into it, what their favorite characters are, what inspired them, all that good stuff. Let me know in the comments, y'all. That being said, I hope y'all are ready for this ride, because we about to start posting and talking everything cosplay and cosplay content, baby. You've already been seeing the skits, you've already been seeing other stuff everywhere else. Let's get real. This is gonna be Raw's real world. ARS the best. ARS the best success? Oh no, we'll work on it. Peace, y'all.